Yes, make sure you log on to doggiediamondstv.com. My official website, doggiediamondstv.com. On there, you'll find videos you might have missed. My social media is on there. You can leave me a voice message. Everything is on there. The merch is on there, doggiediamondstv.com. And have you heard about my $100 promo deal? If you haven't, let me get you some details really, really quick. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and Interlude TV. That's the Insta stories, the YouTube community, the threads, the Facebooks, the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. But as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Cash App ready. You must be Cash App ready. Hit me up at Doggie Diamonds. Listen, man, you want to get interviewed here? Hit me up on IG at Doggie Diamonds TV as well. Listen, hop on a special offer. This is for a 35-minute interview with social media promotion. It could be live streamed to tape, and you can have an additional guest in your interview. Let's go. Yes, we here. Don't forget. Yes, I'm here. Been gone for a little while. Been working on some things behind the scenes. Emilio Egbar, what's up? Tiger, what's up? Bernadette Bernie, what's going on? Jim N.I., what's up? Check Viz Online is in the building. Nate Jackson, what's going on? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Sucker Free, I see you. Philly She, what's up? Velio1, what's up? Velion, what's up? Wano's World is in the building. XR 650 is in the building. I'm here. Yes. Talk about some things tonight. I'm gonna allow y'all to call in. We gonna speak. We gonna kick it tonight. Real brief. Got some work. What's today? Oh, it's hump day. It's Wednesday. Khalil Mack, what's going on? XR 650 is in the building. Hopefully everybody's doing good. I know I haven't been live in a while, but I've been working. As y'all can see, make sure you watch my Bimmy interview. Make sure you watch my 10 Toes Down interview. They are in the regular interview section. And then I have other stuff coming up. So I'll explain that to y'all in a minute, what's going on with me and my channel. Sunshine, how you doing? Peace. Yes. Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Yes, and when I say I did this, that means I did the beat. That means I did the graphics. That means I did the audio. I do everything pertaining to myself. I did the lighting. Yes, one-man show, one-man band. Rob C, what's up? Yes, the originator, I'm here. Yes. Nomadic Soul Bro, what's up? Ohio is in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. And I'm gonna put the number up so y'all can call. Make sure y'all share too, so everybody could be in on the topic. Your voice will be heard tonight. Just make it brief. Make sure you don't get wild with the language, you know? Make sure the language is intact. Preem, what's up? Phoenix is in the building. AZ, what's up? Yes. The best intros on YouTube. Goodness gracious, I gotta take credit for that. I gotta take credit for the best intros, the best outro, the best music on YouTube. I don't care if you're a rapper, trapper, whatever. See, I be humble sometimes, but then some people gonna force me to start talking my ish. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really be wanting to talk my ish. I be humble, you know, we let the work speak. But sometimes you gotta let it be known, like, you gotta let it be known. Yo, man.
I'm the best.
What's up, everybody? Hopefully y'all doing good. I've been away for a few days, but I've been working, putting out interviews. Like I said, if you didn't hear my Bimmy interview straight from the horse's mouth, I got a Bimmy interview on here. Also, I got a 10 Toes Down interview on here, speaking up for Bimmy. And I was trying to get some more people to chime in and not on Bimmy. And I also was on Zip with the Drip channel speaking on the topic. So this is a hot topic that everybody's talking about. Kenneth Supreme McGriff said that Bimmy's a confidential informant and has been for 40 years. Also, Gerald Prince Miller was on a show today where he doubled down on it and say they knew for a while. I just do want to say a thing about that before I start letting y'all in on the show. Derek Brown, I see you in the building. I do want to say something before I take y'all calls. Now, I really want to ask, do the street code really matter anymore? Gunna had a successful album. You got YSL. Like, I don't even call him YSL because he's not YSL. You got Lil Woody out here. You got 6ix9ine out here. You got people who openly told in our face, and they're kind of celebrated. Some of them even commanding up to $10,000 an interview. Did you hear what I said? $10,000 an interview. Some of them guys, when you see them on people's camera, somebody gave them $10,000. $10,000 to sit down and speak to them, and they're going on snitch tours. They're not frowned upon. They get a lot of views, people watching it. They're getting $10,000. The Haven in the building. Big Red, I see you. Some of these dudes is getting $10,000 for interviews, and unlike some people, it's speculation that they might have told. These guys told. And they getting bank. There's been movies made about snitches. Paid in full. Whether y'all like it or not, New Jack City, Nino Brown told in the end. Kareem Akbar. He's the one he told. So you got people named Nino Brown. They don't look at that part of Nino Brown. They just, I'm Nino Brown. I'm the notorious one. But this is the same guy who held the baby up in a shootout, smoked Ice-T moms, killed the lady, held the baby up, and told on Kareem Akbar, but this dude's named Nino Brown. He's not frowned upon. He's actually celebrated. Got Whitey Bulger. Goodfellas. In Too Deep. It's so many movies and so much celebration of it. Does it matter anymore? And I want to know, does it matter to you? I want to know, do you care, or this is just content to you? But we really got to put some proper perspective on this topic, because it seems to take over the algorithm and everybody's talking about it, but a lot of people's not really from that life. Right? I want to ask an important question to y'all. And I'm going to clip this and put this in another part. I want to ask a important question to y'all. If Bimmy was an alleged informant since 1985, right? If Bimmy was an alleged informant since 1985, that's 40 years ago. And they knew since 1985, why are they just saying something now and they knew since 1985? Are they not wrong too? Because if you knew that long, that means you left him on the street to do wrongdoing to others. And I seen the interview with Prince where he said, we let Southside know. I don't think that's good enough. Because if you really on some freedom fight, and if you really want to say, hey, this people did this people did that, he did this, he did that, why wasn't it public knowledge to everybody, all the goons, all the streets, whether it's Manhattan, whether it's Harlem, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's other parts of Queens, whether it's Long Island, whether it's the BX? Why is it just being spoken about in 2025, 40 years later? And that means y'all left them out there to nab other people. So that means anybody that he allegedly told on, anybody that he allegedly talked about, KK47, streets is over. I agree, man. Thank you for your donation. That means anybody that he allegedly informed on, that's kind of y'all fault, because y'all should have let it be known that he did it. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But I'm going to be real with you. If we know of somebody doing wrongdoing and we turn our head like we don't see nothing, one day we can't wake up and say, yo, this person was doing wrongdoing. How long did you know that? And I keep saying that to y'all, and I keep asking in different ways, and more I see it happening. If you was once a part of something and you seen it going on and you didn't think it was wrong, you can't one day say, yo, it was wrong unless you take some accountability yourself. So, for example, if I knew for a fact that dudes was pushing old ladies down the steps, I can't say, and they was pushing old ladies down the steps, because for one, why didn't I stop them? Why didn't I do anything? So I can't use that against them if I knew. I can't say to y'all, I can't assassinate people's character now if I knew. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. If I knew, in my opinion, I'm just as bad as the person doing it because I ain't say nothing. I turned the blind eye. So if I wanted somebody to set it out, aka if I wanted somebody to send me bread, if I was still cool with somebody, if I was still rocking with somebody and they know they was giving it up like that for 40 years, what that say about me? So this is the slippery slope. And this street code should be for dudes who come from that, dudes who come from the penal systems, who they might have been wrongly accused and somebody came in there and lied on them. I can see why they could feel away. I can see how dudes inside could feel away. But it's starting to get to where regular Joe Schmoes is talking about Sue Surf paperwork and this paperwork. I'll be like, yo, that ain't even really your politic. Is it just content, or do you really care? Is that going to pay your bill? Are you going to pay your bills tomorrow off of this conversation? And why does it matter to you? Now, before I let y'all call in, the only type of informant that would bother me is not an informant in the underworld, because I'm not in the underworld. Like I said, I could see how some bros could be pissed off because they was falsely accused and somebody, told on them or whatever. I could get that. What would bother me is that we did have agencies that was being set up to go against the system, and somebody told on them. Somebody infiltrated. I don't like that. That is a piece of shit to me. But in this street thing that dudes love so much, it's dirty. And I think people pick and choose what's dirtier or the dirtiest. Dirt is dirt. Dirt is dirt. So now we see people who going on snitch tours, respect the prince because he paid his debt to society and he home. But we celebrate people who down people. And they don't even have to speak from the perspective of, don't do it, this is what hurt me, this hurt the community. It's just like, yeah, I did it, and I'm a hero. You see people in the comments, salute, yo, and I'm like, so if Timothy McVeigh did what he did and didn't get down by the government, he did what he did and paid his debt to society and came home, do he get a hero welcome? How we pick and choose who's a hero in these situations? Because reality is this: somebody's family is still in mourning. And not saying dudes be celebrating that, and not saying dudes be gloating behind it. I'm just saying certain things be getting magnified, and certain people want to be close to stuff and think certain things is cute that really ain't cute to me. Either you helping your community or you hurting it. And if you heard it before, it is your job to heal it. So when I watch the content and he break down what type of informants they are, I'm like, that's all well and good. But I think a lot of guys who speak on that situation, they're not driving the point home that does not apply to everybody. That only applies to people who are in this life of the streets. So now, dude that's a bus driver, dude that got a good job, as a manager in the store, he thinks that if he sees something and somebody break in the store and stick up the store and harm somebody, he thinks that he's going to be called a snitch if he tell. You're not in the street. You are working a 9 to 5. I don't care what you tied to. I don't care what you a part of. You do not have to uphold no code if you're a working 9 to 5 man. And I think a lot of people don't drive that home. They like nobody tell. Okay, so it's just the wild, wild west out there. Dudes just start bashing old ladies in their head, taking their pocketbooks, because think about how the real this is. If you say, we gonna handle it, guess what happens when you handle them? What do they say? Don't take justice in your own hand. You don't think he gonna tell on you? He gonna tell on you. Yo, it's nothing worse than a snitch killer. And I don't mean a snitch that a person that will get a snitch. I mean somebody that will tell and down you. People like Alpo is dangerous. People like Alpo is dangerous because he could get at you, but if you get at him, he was going to tell. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, Prince paid his debt to society. He was in there for a very, very long time. He got a lot of education that he could give. So that's dope. He been to a place that I don't want to go, that none of us wants to be. And I think people should celebrate the reformed man and not the guy in them pictures and not the guy who did the time and he came home, he on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people be looking for the wrong thing. But, you know, we sensationalize every damn thing. Because on one hand, you got Prince who stood tall and ain't tell on nobody, right? But then on the other hand, you can have a 6ix9ine who told on everybody. But then going around, this nigga's on tour justifying why he told. And you got some niggas who so-called real niggas, and nah, that's true if they did that to me. So what I'm saying, is it over because people pick and choose what's good or what's bad, or the code, just the code? Because I know the code. I also knew if you call somebody something, you had to prove it. And it was your job to take care of that too. Look at all the mob movies. You brought them in, right? So take care of him, or we gonna take care of you. Remember The Sopranos, Tony Uncle? So to me, the code really is, they pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Gunna had like the #1 album. They was buying bots. You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine got mad bread. And I'm going to tell you again, some of these guys are getting $10,000 for an interview. $10,000 for an interview. And we know they told. 10 racks to sit down and stand on, which is oxymoron, but to sit down before the people and stand on. I did it. Whoa. And people appeal to it. So that means said person that told, that didn't stand tall, that was a part of organizations, and when it got thick, they ran and told. If you see 4 interviews from them, 5 interviews from them, 6 interviews from them in a month, that means that man made $50,000 to $70,000 in a month. That's not, y'all okay with that? That man made $60,000 to $70,000 in a month. And is admitted that he told. Got a big following on social media. Who's following these people? This is what I'm saying. If it matters, who's following these people, who's paying these people, and where's the viewership coming from? Now, I'm gonna say with Woody, it was funny as hell. His court proceedings was funny as hell, but we know how he got there. We know why he was one of the star witnesses. We seen the tapes, we seen it. So it's like, when is it wrong? It's just it's just wild, man. It's just wild. But I want y'all to call in, because do it really matter to y'all anymore? Do the street code really, really matter? I don't say it. I'm not going to oppose your view. I'm just here to ask a critical question. Does it matter? If it matters to you, call in. If it don't matter to you, call in. Be brief. Just watch your language. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new here. But just call in. I want to know, does this street code matter to you anymore? Does it matter? Do you care? You know what I'm saying? Do you really care? Who told, who didn't tell, who's a G? Do it matter to you? I just want to know. But call in, call in. The number's on the screen. 516-218-6898. 516-218-6898. Call in. I want to know, because I'm confused, because the dudes who told are on tour. They making more money than the rappers. They making more money than the people they told on. They making more money than the average civilian that's going to work, getting their kids up, taking their kids to work, doing the homework and all that. They making your yearly salary in a month. So that means some of these guys is making like $500,000, $1 million, and they told. And people, who are the people who are watching these guys? Who are the people that's platforming these guys? And who are the people that are paying these people? That's what we really know. That's what we need to know. You know what I'm saying? Yes, pop out season, you got work snitches. You got people who snitch at work. You got people who go to the boss. But call in, man, 516-218-6898. If ain't nobody going to call in, then I'm just going to wrap it up and do something else, because I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of editing to do. Yeah, but imagine that, though. You got niggas who took down whole organizations. And not saying that the organization was a clean organization, right? But you were a part of it. And when you were a part of it, you reaped all the benefits of being a part of it. And then when something didn't go your way, you was like, I'm telling. And now you got immunity, right? You got immunity. You got notoriety. And now you getting paid? What the hell is going on? Who's following these people? 10 racks? This is out of control. Let me take this caller right here. What's up? You on the line with Doggie Diamonds. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Doggie? This Juan up.
Juan up. What's going on, bro? Shout out to you and your channel. What you think about this? Do you think the street code matters anymore?
I mean, it's not so much as do the street code matter. It's more of the selective of who ends up in the streets. You know, the street code matter to somebody like me, because not just because I sold drugs, but because of where I come from and how I come up. And what we confuse in the street code with is the black code. You don't snitch on another black man, because if they come get him, they'll come get us all. And if we bring them over here for him, then they coming back for the rest of us. That ain't really got nothing to do with the streets.
So you saying if dudes is out there doing harm in their community, and this is what I'm saying, the street code was made for the underworld, right? So you say where you come from, you wouldn't do it, right? You wouldn't do it.
No.
Go ahead. So, but what is the street code anymore?
See, that's what I'm saying. I think these two things are getting conflated. Like, for example, if you raping people in a neighborhood and I'm the drug dealer over there, then I might need to handle you. You know what I'm saying?
So, but isn't dirt though? Like, does is it because you're doing one thing and I'm doing another? Because if you're the drug dealer in the neighborhood, who you selling the drugs to?
Yeah, I'm selling them to the neighborhood, but drugs is a victimless crime, so to speak. People that's doing drugs.
No.
People that's doing.
All right, let me ask you, let's be honest. Do you have anybody in your family that was afflicted by drugs?
Most definitely.
So you know it's not victimless then. The person who sells, the person who's the drug user, the children of the drug user, the parents of the drug user, the family of the drug user sometimes become victim of the stealing, the lying, the breaking, and all of that. So it's not victimless.
Yeah, no different than everybody in the city become victims of the pollutants that our jobs put out.
You comparing apples and oranges. We talking about. I get what you're saying.
It's the same thing. No.
I mean, nothing is good for us. Nothing is good for us per se.
Exactly.
But the point I'm making. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead.
No, but we do agree that it is a line. Now, somebody choosing to do drugs and it affecting their family, that's messed up. But somebody choosing to take somebody else's innocence, that's a whole nother line we talking about crossing here. Just like somebody killing innocent people. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you to a certain extent, but I'm going to be real with you. Crime is crime.
Crime is crime. Crime, and that's where it gets crime.
So if you a scraper or you a person that poisoned the community and got the babies strung out, you got crack babies out here. Taking drugs is a choice, but it's also a disease too. Drug users fighting a disease.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I was a tormented soul from selling heroin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know how they did you. If you ever got caught, they hate the dope dealers, the literal dope. They hate them the most. You know, that's go ahead.
But I had a real transformation with that. I go from doing it in the city to doing it in the sticks in the suburbs where the clientele is totally different.
And they gonna give you the 848 up there if you get caught in there. They throwing a book at you in them suburbs.
Yeah, and the niggas you take with you will help you get that 848. And that's why I say when it get to the street code and do it actually exist, I think a lot of people that's in the streets are not qualified to be in the streets. Period.
I agree with that.
No,
I agree with that. Some people shouldn't be put on. But does it matter in 2025? I understand what you went through. In 2025, does this street code matter anymore?
It still matters to a degree, but what we seeing in 2025 is a rash of kids that shouldn't be in the street no way. No different than my 14-year-old son trying to get involved in this, that, or whatever, and he come from a full family. And that's exactly what we got a lot of these people. They might not have had everything, but they had all they needed to do better and have opportunity. Yet they ended up in the street. And as soon as they get in that cell and they hear a number, not the fact that they had opportunity rings home, and now we got this rash of snitches. It's not so much a rash of snitches. We got an abundance of people that should have never been in the street. No way.
Listen, you ain't saying nothing wrong on that. I appreciate your call. I agree with that 100%. I think dudes is putting dudes onto the set that ain't built for it, putting packs in people's hand that ain't built for it.
Right.
And then when they get caught, but that's what I said earlier, bro. If you seeing Lil Woody and 6ix9ine benefiting from telling, how it's gonna hurt you if you tell?
But when you look at a Lil Woody, this is where we're wrong at as a community. That's a hurt, emotional person. That's not a gangster. And we look at people acting out of emotion as tough or gangster. It's not. That's a cry for help. No different than a young thug being the leader of the crew.
Yeah, but we don't gotta his cry for help ain't got nothing to do with him allegedly downing shit. We all crying for help, but I can't go outside and turn into Charles Bronson and be like, because I needed help. You still got to go to the can.
You absolutely right. But what I'm saying is Woody was being congratulated for being a stepper before he even got in trouble. But he wasn't really a stepper. He was an emotional kid acting out. And anybody looking at him could know that because he going to get emotional with them.
But
The nigga
that's
cry in the drop of a dime.
right. But that is the ills of our community. It is a lot of emotion. There's a lot of PTSD. It is a lot of
Facts.
abuse. It is a lot of that in our community. But if we all use that as an excuse, then it's the Wild Wild West.
True for the person, for the individual to say it, but for us that's looking at the individual, we got to quit classifying everything as thug and gangster. A lot of these
I
guys
agree.
is bitches. You know, Young Thug get the role or the call of being a gangster, but everything he's done has been bitch made since we've been looking at him. And his whole city congratulated the dress. They congratulated the
Right.
smoking penises. They
Right.
congratulated the blacking people out. They
Right.
congratulated the picking sides. And as
Right.
soon as he got in trouble, he wasn't willing to stand up to nothing he put on everybody else, and they still supported him. You know, at this point, Offset the realest nigga in Atlanta. He the only one was friends with who he was friends with because they was friends and stayed friends. All the rest of them is fair weather. And we've been following their lead. So we looking at the trickle down effect. You look at a Little Dirt, he had to get money to call shots. I had to take risk. I got to call shots because I took risks, not because I just had money. When I was coming up, the dude who had money didn't automatically make him the leader.
Right.
You might just be the nigga with
Dudes
the
is
money.
buying sets
You the
now.
nigga with
Yeah,
the,
yep. Dudes is buying sets. Yeah, you're right. Dudes is
come
buying
on.
position. Nah, you're right.
When
You're
you,
right.
because you're a real respectful brother, so I
Right.
know when you roll with the few homies you do got, the dude that talk, the dude that speak for everybody if y'all get in trouble, the dude that's gonna swing first, the one that's gonna, talk to everybody, old lady, y'all all got y'all job descriptions and y'all move. Nowadays, we in a world where job descriptions is being picked on money and who you like versus what you bring to the table.
Let me tell you why
And
that's
that's the problem.
qualified, what you said. I said I got more money than all my friends and my family, but I still got to listen to them. Seriously.
Come on.
My older cousin who be on here, if I wild out, he'll call me and say, yo, nah, that ain't a good look. I can't be like,
And that's,
what, nigga, I got a bag. Yo, I'm getting to. No, my older cousin told me something. Then my other cousins called me and they just bully me because I'm the baby cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I still got to listen to my family. It don't matter how
that's
much
where
money
we
I
went
got.
wrong
My
at.
foreign, they don't care about none of that.
And that's where we went wrong at. That shit shouldn't matter. We don't play our position.
Right. I
Being a
agree.
little homie on the winning team is just as important as being a boss. And that's the problem. You should have somebody that could correct you. None of these little dudes got nobody that's going to speak to them honestly that they respect that's going to correct them because they feel they got the money. And that's asinine.
Yo, listen. You dropped it. You dropped it heavy. Make sure, man. Make sure y'all shout out to Wano. Go to his channel. And I appreciate you, bro, for calling in. We holler later on. Peace.
You know what? I'm going to stay tuned in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right.
One.
Yep. Later. He dropped it. I can't disagree with nothing he said. It started off a little shaky. I wasn't in agreement, but the tail end, he dropped that information that needed to be there because it does boil down to a lot of people in the streets don't belong in the street in the first place. And we keep calling everybody street and everybody not. Hold on, let me take this caller. What's up? This Doggie Diamonds TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Doggie Diamonds. My name is E, and I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York, man.
Okay,
Shout
what
out to
part of
you,
Brooklyn
man.
you
Salute
calling
to you.
from? You know I'm Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn you calling from?
I'm the Flatbush area, like.
All right, that's it. Flatbush is cool. Flatbush is cool. So let me ask you something. Does the street code matter anymore in 2025?
That's a great question. I just want to say the fact that we even have to see a value in street code is another story in itself because, like, and I blame even this type of, let's say if you put it in a pecking order and you say a street code is a top tier of stuff to discuss in the community, that fallout or that misinterpretation happens because nobody gives a damn about family no more. Because the family structure is tainted. So, I mean, yeah, the guys get knowledge of self and, dudes find out like about whether it be, self-development and, get their stuff together. But it just, it's so much isms and schisms within the structure of the family. Nobody really see the distraction in the so-called street code, because if you have your family, which is everything you really need, why would you even need to have a fatuation with the street?
I get you, but
code?
let's give the flip side of that. That's one side of the coin, but the other side of the coin is some people don't have family. Some people, all they have is the streets. Some people were runaways at 14 because 15, 13, 12, because they come from abuse and broken homes. So they had to turn to the streets. Some of the most street heinous people are intelligent. They just didn't get opportunities to grow up with a family. They never got a Christmas. They never got holidays. They never got school clothes. And the most people who do the heinous things that they do is because they were teased. So they don't get teased or bullied anymore. They go crazy. So does the code matter anymore? Bottom line.
It doesn't matter, because no one cares. The sad thing about what you just said is, let's say they have the most horrendous story you can have.
Right.
Nobody really cares, and that's the I guess when you go behind the curtain and go behind the veil, nobody really cares about you.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, you was fighting against yourself with this beautiful thing called the mind. You were making up fears that didn't even exist.
Right. All right, let me get some more callers in. I appreciate you for calling. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right. DeHaven, give me your last four numbers so I know it's you. Let me take this call. Yo, what's up? You on the line with Doggie Diamonds, Doggie Diamonds TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this DeHaven.
Oh, my bro is calling right now. What's going on, bro? You know you got to tap in this. This is the infamous DeHaven. You see this topic. Me and you have these conversations offline, right?
Yes, we do.
And you always be letting it know that it's a slippery slope when it comes to certain people, because they give certain people pass for certain things that's not really upholding the code. So in your opinion, DeHaven, does the street code matter anymore in 2025?
Nah. Nah, it's washed. I mean, how could it be still a code if the game was rigged from the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Once you figure it all out, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we didn't know what we was getting into from the beginning. But now when we use knowledge and figured out we was all set up from the beginning, it's rigged, and now it's just saturated. You know what I'm saying? How could it exist if my money is right and I could be a civilian again? How could this game exist? How could you be looking for paperwork nowadays when you don't even trust our government in any other aspects? At this point, why are you even looking for paperwork? I don't trust the government on all these people out here, because who's to say, someone ain't drop a note, send a phone call, a anonymous phone call on the tip. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how the information is given. So why are you even looking for paperwork? It's enough desperate agents out there. If you got vital information, you know what I'm saying, and you just give it, say, yo, I'm going to give this anonymously. It's a tip.
Right.
So where you looking for paperwork at? At nowadays, when the government is corrupt, you know what I'm saying? So if it's all rigged, man, you know what I'm saying? It's over with.
So let me ask you something, bro. You've been accused of stuff and you've had to fight for your name to this day. You still got to fight for your name. What's the best way to handle these situations if it's cap was being said about you? What's the best way to handle this?
Because it is no way. No way it handles itself out, bro. Because the real recognize the real. It's enough people that have been through this that recognize my situation. And I'm okay with that. The rest are just the dumb, the blind, and you know what I'm saying, the riders, and the rest of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. But you know what I'm saying? There's never been no paperwork. There's never been nobody that said, well, he told on me. At this point, 15 years, 20 years since the person said it.
Let me ask you a tough question in that situation. How does that person get to pick and choose when they were a part of the underworld and then they so-called squared up, but then they might be around people who did tell on somebody on record? Should they uphold the code in that instance?
That's when you realize that they never really played by a code, or something is really fishy there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Something is really fishy there. And then at some point, you could be sitting there, well, you don't know what situation some people are in. Somebody sit here and say, man, who cares if you done this and done that to people? You ain't do it to my people or whatever it may be. And who cares what they say? Those people that's chitty-chatter and chatter-pattern, we're not even going to see them. We in bigger rooms.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's selective politicking, and people care about when it's low hanging fruit, but when it's high up on the ladder, I told you, bro, dudes is out here getting 10, 20 racks to do interviews, and they told on everybody.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But you got to look at it another way, Doggie. This is America, baby. This
capitalist, yeah.
The American dream is here, and they don't stop you from getting that bag. If you can get the bag, and if you can sell your snitching stories it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's America. Land of opportunity. If you wake up tomorrow with a new idea, I'm going to tell on Oprah.
Right.
You rich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really surprising.
Right.
Don't dare say, really, he'll say, yo, don't hate me, hate the game.
Right. Don't hate me, hate the player. Yep. The game is the game. Yeah, wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I've been gave in to, the game is over, so why play it? If it's coming in rigged, if you know that it's only 40 and 51 cards there in the deck, why are you going to play it, bro? Why are you going to sit there and play your money? You know, 51. It's supposed to be 52 cards.
Right, yeah. It's a missing card. Right.
And you say, dude going to say, yo, you can play, but there's only 51 cards in here.
Right.
You going to sit down?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then get mad after you lose and want to fight. That's a snitch.
Right. You already knew the game was fixed. Right.
Yeah. He going to tell the next person, man, don't even sit down. It's rigged. No, we told you this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I try to imply the best way of, giving this information out other than pointing fingers, just saying like, yo, it's over.
Could I ask you something
really
else?
over.
You could say no comment, bro. Do Preem have some type of responsibility that he said he knew for 40 years and he never said nothing publicly? If you allegedly knew that this dude was this for 40 years and you ain't never say nothing and you left him out there to nab other people, do you have some responsibility if he got somebody else jammed up allegedly?
Yeah, well, yo, bro, I learned to understand, like, you would never understand why a person would do certain things. You get what I'm saying? You got to rattle your whole brain.
Right.
People, it's like a wild card. You know what I mean? You just pulled out a joker. You know, it's already a big joker and little joker. Now here you come with this joker.
Right.
To confuse the whole game. Now, how does that benefit you saying that? And then when it trickles down to me, it's almost like, is this one big party of views that people are getting to get money? Did all these guys sit down together and say, yo, we're going to do this? And
this is content. Yeah, it's starting to sound like content now. It's just starting to sound like content.
Yeah, exactly. Did y'all plan this? Or this is planned? Or does this make sense? Or how does this benefit you for even saying this? And, I honestly, I don't watch none of that. No, I don't watch none of that stuff, bro.
Right.
Because it's like it's smut. It's you know what smut is. That's the
Right.
lowest part of, you know what I'm saying? But I can't hate on how you get your bag. Because this is America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
but
the
don't get
law,
on here
as Nino
talking
Brown
about-
said.
don't-
Go ahead.
Right, but don't get on here talking about, oh, the streets is messed up, these kids is wild, when you on here 20 hours a day. So you're not helping. You're not helping because you on here 20 hours a day. You got 4 kids. So how are you helping?
He not talking about
Where's
me, by
your
the
community
way.
service?
He not talking about me, by the way. Because I don't be here for 20 hours. Yeah, let's just, they be like, DeHaven box on Doggie Diamonds. He got 4 kids and he's on here 20 hours. He ain't
like
talking
you
about
said,
me.
We have conversations.
Right,
We have conversations offline.
Right,
So
right.
I'm just saying though, you know what I mean, when all of this content and stuff, because I spoke about this on, my last time I really was out there about staying focused to what's really going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How does that help me when, you know what I'm saying, my niece about to lose her food stamps and she got 3 kids? How the hell does this information help me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger issues. I ain't trying to change the whole thing, but the game is over.
Right.
Why am I playing it? There's no morals. There's no dignity. There's no
integrity. There's no honor. There's no camaraderie.
Like,
yeah, right.
If you tell me, I ain't gonna lie, I just watch it just for entertainment. Okay, because that's what it's for.
Right.
If that entertains you though, that's your life, but the time you spend on that jack, looking at that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's something different, man. The game. I want to talk about that snitches when I've been, like you said, fighting for 20 years, and now niggas is doing lawsuits, and now these dudes are getting 10,000. And I barely could get the 7 I asked for.
Right. And you got put on records, immortalized. Your name done went platinum a few times, and you ain't get a coin.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. I don't. You know what I mean? It's over, man. The game, there's no code. The only thing you can have is your morals.
Right.
Yo, and when you use your morals of saying, yo, should I call the police or should I I'm not going to let this dude pick on this person. I'm going to intervene. Play your position as a man. That ain't got, that's common sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Would I call the police in certain circumstances? Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Would I do this? Would I do, you know what I'm saying? I just got to pick and choose on how, what's moral to you.
Right. And then, even when we dealing with morality, some people be doing the moral stuff and everybody be jacking. And I be like, that ain't moral. But if it is to 1 million people, who am I? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's selective politicking.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
selective
it's
politicking.
selective.
It's selective. All right, bro.
Everybody
go ahead.
got one in their family. You know why
Right.
it's selective? Because everybody got one in their. It's like you said, yo, I know your family been impacted. Somebody in your family, right?
Right.
That's how that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody got somebody like, nah, don't bother him. Yo, nah, he's cool with, or this one is that one, or this one is that one. Once you saturated the game with all of that and people this, that, and no cosigning and for people and no people, man.
Right.
Nah, then the rap game, man, it's just that it's just killed everything, bro. This try something new. You don't have to be in that game to make money now.
Right.
It's a million ways. Like I said, it's America.
Right.
It's a million ways to get money, and if you don't know how, that's a whole nother level.
Right. All right, bro. Let me try to get some more callers in. How long you gonna be up? Because I'll call you later, or I'll just call you tomorrow after work.
Yeah, hit me tomorrow, bro. We chop it up, and it's always a pleasure, bro.
Yes, I appreciate you. Love you, bro.
I love you too, man.
Yep. All right, we later on. All right. That's my guy, DeHaven. Me and DeHaven. Yo, let me tell y'all something about DeHaven real quick. I was at a dark place in my life. Dark place. When I'm going through dark phases, some people can see it, hear it. And I remember him calling me one day like, yo, you got to tighten up. I'll get back to that after I got this caller. Yo, what's up? You got to turn the computer down. But what's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, that's the end of that. They hung up. I was in a dark place, and I spoke to him, and he gave me some information about life and myself that I snapped out of it. And rarely do we get them calls from people where it's not a call or somebody wanting something from you or some type of requirement, somebody pouring into you. We don't get that no more. So I got love for anybody who's ever called me and talked to me about my greatness. Yo, you on the line with Doggie Diamonds. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what up, Doggy? This is Zone. Sometimes I'll be in the chat.
Okay.
Zone 864 TV.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, bro? Yeah.
Calling out of Phoenix.
Oh man. Y'all know I can't really talk about nothing real on here. I gotta sensationalize stuff and, have topics that I'm wilding and all that. So, once I talk about something that might be serious and I'm letting y'all call in, it happens. So, bro, you on the phone. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Zone, known as Zone 864 TV in the chat sometimes.
Yes.
Calling out of Phoenix.
Okay. And you see the above question, does the street code matter anymore? And you was about to break it down. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my answer to that was no, and
Okay.
I just wanted to give two examples, that I know personally. The first example was, one of my homies. We grew up together in the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
His family knew my family, all of that kind of stuff. And this is a white dude. He's white.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to bring that up because a lot of times, we think the streets apply to, black
Yeah,
a lot of times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, with the rap and all that. But he's white. And so we went to separate high schools, but we both were in the same class.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved in with my mom, because I was raised by my grandparents, but when I moved in with my mom, I had to go to a different school.
Mm-hmm.
So when Facebook really started popping was around 04, 05, 06,
Mm-hmm.
I went on there to go look for my homie.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't find him. I was searching his name. I just couldn't find nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to 2019, 2020, how Facebook gives you the people you may know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he pops up in my feed.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to going on his page. This dude's been in prison since we graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 37 and he's probably 38, 39.
Damn.
And we're young. So a lot of people, Gen X and baby boomers, when the millennials, when we do stuff, they look at us like we crazy because we have opportunities they never had.
Right.
We have technology at our fingertips. So that was the first example. The second example was another homie. We wasn't that close, but we played football together and stuff in high school. We graduated in the same class, 06. So again, it was literally the same story. So I'm going through stuff and, adding people on Facebook because now we graduated. So, I know I'm going to lose touch with people. I couldn't find this dude for the life of me. So fast forward to 2022, I believe, or 23, same situation. Comes up in the Facebook, the people you may know. Bro's been locked up since we graduated high school for street stuff. Both of them, one white, one black, for street stuff. He just turned, look, and check this out. He just turned 40. Not only that, he just turned 40, the black dude, and he just had a heart attack.
Wow.
And he's just now recovering from that. So that goes to show you that, it's like the street, all of that street stuff and the stress and everything that comes with that is not worth it. Especially when you're a millennial like me or even younger, Gen Z, and you got technology at your fingertips. It's so many ways to get legal money. You got Uber Eats, DoorDash,
right.
Instacart, like all of these type of different things that you never had 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now you can work from home. There's a lot of different things that you can go into that wasn't available to our elders back in their day.
So you know what?
summed
If I
that
could
up
break
again
it,
by
if I could sum it up for you, what you're saying is basically, you don't have to live by a street code in this day and time because you don't have to be in the streets. It's a lot of opportunity opposed to some of the guys that when you were coming up, they didn't have the same opportunities that we got today. So if you go in the streets, you choose to do that.
That's a whole fact.
Okay.
And Doggie, even 50 said it on the song Wankster. He said, I'm getting what you get for a brick to talk greasy.
Right.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say that, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's a waste of time. It's unnecessary stress. And, you don't even need to be a rapper or a ball player to be a millionaire. All you need is a certification and you set.
Oh, damn Wi-Fi. All right,
and
bro.
Wi-Fi.
Bro, I appreciate your call. Appreciate you always in the chat showing love. Thank you. I'll holler at you later on.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Yep, bye. You know what? That make a lot of sense. So nowadays, anybody upholding the streets and the street stuff because you want to, because you could make a coin not being outside. What's up? You on the line with Doggie Diamonds? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This pop-out season from Jersey.
Jersey in the building. So, does the street code matter anymore?
I think it should.
Okay, break it down. Break it down.
To people that's in the streets, and it's just something about snitching that just don't feel right. Even I'm not a street dude, never been in the streets, but just snitching, period.
I agree.
At work or
I agree with you.
or whenever, it just don't feel right. And I think I look at it like I see a lot of these dudes on here talking like street dudes, and they putting on a uniform.
Right.
And just and saying, and like 6ix9ine.
Right.
He talk it and he put on a uniform, but he's celebrating being a snitch, and that's what makes people so angry.
Right, because he
know people ain't angry.
Yeah, because he know the vernacular. He know it, and you would, if you don't see him with purple hair, you would really think that he's really about that. But when he got caught, he told on everybody. Now he's going on tour, getting bread. Shout out to my brother Hocus for Fifth in the chat. So you're right. It should matter to those who's in that life, but I think everybody just care about who's a snitch and who ain't a snitch. It just became content, and I don't think it's content. I think being that I'm not from that world, and then again, I will say it matters to me because I know a lot of good brothers who are in the penal system right now because a lying bastard did something. That's when it matters to me. I'm gonna be real with you. Go ahead.
And a lot of times we focus on the ones that snitch. There's a lot of people in jail who didn't snitch that stood on business.
Right.
But we focus on the ones that said something or snitched, and they getting these interviews and getting kind of rewarded.
Yeah. I talked about that earlier. They're getting 10 bands an interview. Yes.
And slavery, to be honest, snitching goes back to slavery.
Facts.
Because we didn't snitch on each other. We hated the house slave.
Right.
We hated the house Negro.
Right.
So that's in us. So when we do snitch and everything, a lot of times people feel bad, but now people are kind of leaning into it.
They getting movies made about them. They getting movies. They getting tours. They on every platform, and they getting paid, bro. It is. I know for a fact that there's some dudes who snitch who's very, very popular, who probably made about $60,000 this month just doing interviews, and they told.
Yeah.
Some dudes ain't making 60 a year. Some dudes is doing 30 a year. Some dudes is doing 25,000 a year and gotta live with somebody they don't even like just to make ends meet. And dudes is sitting down talking about how they put people in prison and justifying it.
Yeah.
Diabolical. And I hate that word too, but go ahead.
My last point, a lot of people online who is not from the neighborhood or really understand, and they up here watching content, watching TV, and taking this stuff in. They got them following them, so they don't have no codes. They don't have anything They don't care about none of this stuff. They just young kids watching it
It's
from
content.
the TV,
Yeah, it's content.
watching content and everything like that. And as long as they got eyeballs, it don't matter. So they're leaning into it and whatnot. So it don't matter to them and whatnot. So it becomes a joke and everything like that.
Right.
But you know, it's just something that don't feel right. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that people need to be doing crime. We all need to be out the streets and doing something productive and everything like that.
Right.
But if you in that life and you put on that uniform and you go and then something happen and you just want to change the rules now, that's not cool.
Right. All right, bro. Let me get some more callers in. I appreciate you for calling in.
All right, thanks. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know, that's kind of deep too, because the code. All right. Troy Ave once said the streets is a myth. You know, I did a whole show. The streets is not a myth. The streets is real because dudes is really getting their head knocked off and going to prison. So that's not a myth. What he was trying to say, in my opinion, was the street code is a myth because dudes pick and choose. Now, I never thought it would be a time where the person who told and sent the gang to prison gets more love than the actual people who got sent there and stood on their business. So do we love the dudes who stood tall, or do we love the dudes who told? It's seeming like we love the dudes who told. So the street code can't matter anymore because, again, I'm going to say it again until this is drilled in people's brain. Who's paying these people? Who's giving them their views? And who's platforming people who told if they're going to go on there braggadocious about how they told? So if that is getting all the views and is getting money, how does the code matter anymore? And to who? That's all I'm asking. Because it seems like it don't matter. As long as people are entertained and it's funny, nothing don't matter no more. And I think that that's a problem. Let me take this caller. What's up? You on the line with Doggie Diamonds. What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, they hung up. Yeah, man. We in a bad time, man. People ain't getting their stamps. Thanksgiving gonna be misgiven, and some people might be eating oodles and noodles. We going into some turbulent times. And in my opinion, the turbulence that we in for, many people are not ready because many people are not sticking together and people worry about the wrong shit. You on the line with Doggie Diamonds. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Doggie Diamonds is popping. This is Zeke Black. I'm in St. Louis though, but I'm from East Harlem.
Okay, does Zeke Black feed the wolves, Zeke Black?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think I know you from somewhere. What's going on, bro? What's up?
Yes. It's a great title, and it's the truth, man. It's a lot of everybody's exposing their friends after 20, 30 years. Is weird because we grew up in cloth that we take so much pride in. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something, Zeke. I'm glad you're here because you've been through the penal system. You've been through the streets. You've been through everything that this weird ass nigga shit got to offer, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I want to ask you this important question. So Preem said he knew he was a CI for 40 years. Isn't Preem might be at fault a little bit for letting him be outside
all
still?
Day.
Go ahead, break that
all
down.
Day. Yeah. All day, bro. Because it had to be an offense. There had to be a reason why you kept this informant allegedly around.
Right.
You kidding me? You know what I'm saying? You put him in position, and technically think about it, Preem ain't go to jail for no bodies. His first cases. Prince really ain't go to jail for no bodies. They kept beating their bodies.
Right.
They really went to jail for just being over exaggerated drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? You know, not over exaggerated, but they was doing their thing. So now when you look at it going, what's the best way to get rid of your competition? Back in the day, some niggas called the police on niggas on the corner. Yo,
On the
you got a guy-
payphone, right?
back
Dudes used to
then-
go to the payphone and be like, "Yep, dudes go drop." That's where dropping a dime comes from. That's where dropping a dime come from. Dude would go in the payphone. Remember, the payphone was a dime. That's where dropping a dime comes from.
Yeah. So unless you was using these informants to keep you protected, that wasn't a good thing to say because everybody started going to jail after Preem went to jail. Remember Fat Cat in them 88, 89, 90, the rest of us started going to jail afterwards. Montana. So you was like the first one to go, bro, in 85. You know what I'm saying? Like really went for that during that time of the beginning of the crack era. So I don't think he should have gave a date on it.
Right.
You
can't say
right?
40 years. You can't say I knew for 40 years. Nah.
And when you was home, you should have at least approached him in a manner where, yo, that nigga Preem just called that nigga a rat bastard. But it seemed like y'all all got along. Now I understand that people make it look good on camera, but that's a bad look because I'm gonna be honest with you, Doggie Diamonds. In my generation, they wasn't chasing crack dealers. They was trying to solve homicide. Bro.
Right. No, you had TNT. TNT would come out Tuesday and Thursday and grab who they could grab, but they was really into. If you had that, look, it was times, bro, where unnamed people got caught with a whole half a P on them. They was like, we not even here for that. As long as you ain't had no pistol, take this in the house. And I'm talking about 1993, 1994. Whose is this? If somebody don't own up to it, we gonna take everybody. Whoever it is, take it in the crib. As long as none of y'all don't got no weapon, we don't care. We not out here for that. I remember Jake singing. Go ahead.
Now, me being in Spanish Harlem, there might be some people that was from the 80s and 90s in Spanish Harlem in the chat. We had this one cop named Blondie. He was guns back then. We was more scared of Blondie than we was of the drug task force because, like you said, if once TNT go by, we was good.
Right. Tuesday and Thursday, you knew it.
Called the police.
We had a white van in our hood.
We called the cops.
Yeah, we had a white van, and we had Freckles, Mighty Mouse, Batman and Robin, Pizza Face. We knew because we knew all the D's name in the hood. We knew all the D's. See, I don't even know what it's like no more, but we knew the D's. So they go to D's. We knew the car. We knew when they had the puffy lumberjacks on. We knew he had a Yankee on. That's a D right there. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to tell the chat at one point, yo, they used to hop out of ambulances on us because the fire truck and the ambulance was different. Remember, you had FDNY, you had NYPD, and ambulance had their own thing too. They used to hop out of ambulance on us, the white van. Cabs, the yellow cabs, regular cabs, gypsy cabs, Chevy Caprices, all types of stuff. Chargers, Challengers, they hopped out of everything. So Zeke, the above question is, does the street code matter anymore?
At this point, I would say not, because we see how wild the street is. There's no respect. What rules are they to follow when they follow their OG who got some type of smut on their name? You know what I'm saying? Which is okay now, because what wasn't okay in our generation is real nigga shit now.
Right.
Like fuck nigga shit. To be a fuck nigga is being a real nigga now.
Right. You get rewarded. You get views. You get likes, and you get Yeah,
you get all that. You get a Grammy. like you said, 6ix9ine's on the tour celebrating how he told on some real niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's being rewarded for this. And there's certain homies behind the scenes that's congratulating me. 21 comes salute. Yo, what's up, bro? Fuck them niggas.
Yeah, because as long as you setting me out, set it out, I don't care. It ain't happened to me. You ain't telling on me. They was my ops anyway. Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
Yo, it's dirty because back in the days, we didn't fuck with our ops. Back in the days, we didn't winnow the crew with yo, them niggas don't fuck with us, but he cool with me. We kept some type of discipline. The discipline and the respect is gone. The integrity is gone. Because the nigga that spoke weed with you, I mean, down the block telling your ops where your mother live at. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we didn't handle that. But Zeke, I also told the people that if you call somebody a confidential informant, a rat, whatever, you had to produce work on them. And that was your job to handle that scandal too, because you putting that out there on him.
Now, Doggie, shout out to Cloud Course TV for educating me on this. Me and Crown used to work together. For those that remember, we first did the shotty, proving that he wasn't a rat. And then we started doing the court cases. Shout out to Maylee and them. Not throwing a platform in the air.
Shout out to whoever. Yeah, shout out to whoever.
I got to read Supreme's 1988 appeal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into the CI.
Mm.
His case in 1985 was not based off of an investigation. It was based off of a CI saying, yo, claiming them about to kidnap somebody and hurt them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yo, claim about to kill 2 young boys in a crib. Well, what crib was the stash house? Now, I'm going to fast forward this. The informant, the CI, was already working for a cop called Fisher, Officer Fisher.
Mm.
He gave him a homicide on 145th and Guy Brewer.
Mm.
But Preem had a spot across the street. Now, this CI was some nigga that was just giving this cop information. He was paying him. So what the cop did was he wanted to make him official CI. He brought him to the drug task force. So I guess one of their first situations was Preem. But he actually worked for Preem. Now, whoever the CI is was at Preem's house, not the stash house, but got in by saying that they had gave a discipline to somebody at Supreme's house on 231st Street. Now, the guy claims his only position was he used to cut up work for them.
Mm-hmm.
But who brings the person who cut up work for you that when the police raided your crib, they found 80,000, like 8 bricks of hair on. So this wasn't a regular cut up guy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This was a person that was in position. So this is how he became the official CI. So I guess Preem was supposed to do something to 2 workers. So the cop went and got a warrant based off of the CI's word.
Mm.
And that's how they raided the 2 spots.
Has the CI been
produced
identified? The CI has been identified?
Yes, he came to court. He had to go to a Darting hearing because Preem was going to trial.
Whoa, Zeke. You know this is breaking news. The CI came to court and it's not Bimmy?
Yeah, he had to go
and
to court.
And it's not Bimmy,
Yeah,
you saying?
No, let me break it down.
Go ahead. I'm
The
going to be
CI had
quiet.
to go to a hearing, a Darting hearing. So the Darting hearing it's a special hearing that they have when you're a CI and the judge asks you questions. But Preem's lawyer, he don't see him, but he's allowed to ask the CI questions. He likes to make questions for the CI to ask. Because you got a statement from the CI saying the situation. So whoever Preem probably thought it was asking these questions. What happens is, at this Darting hearing, which was in 1985, they give a summary of what was discussed and is that piece of evidence can be admissible, which they said it was. So he knew from the information that came back who his snitch was.
And it wasn't Bimmy, what you're saying.
Bingo.
Wow.
Who knows? Because his lawyer had to give him that paperwork because he's going to trial. It was because they couldn't show the CI's face, you could only give him information.
Mm.
They only went off of the statement. The statement that the CI wrote was he used to work for them niggas. He was in the crib. He beat somebody up in Preem's crib, and they was kidnapping 2 guys, and boom, boom, boom. That's when the 2 houses got raided. The house on 116th, when they raided that spot, they really didn't find them but some rifles. It was Preem's house that they found the mother load. Now you have to think about this. Why would Preem bring any little nigga to his crib? They got the mother load.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if it was Bimmy, he knew who his rat was when he got the summary back.
Right.
He knew who the CI was. He knew the conversation. The guy said he beat somebody up in the crib. The guy said a body happened on. He knows. He knows when the guy, whatever his lawyer asks the CI asks yes or no in the summary in his paperwork, he knew it wasn't him. So
if that's the case, if Preem knew it wasn't Bimmy, then is that explain why Bimmy and Black Just, rest in peace, took over the team because he knew he wasn't bad. See,
exactly, because he knew, boom, 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 and they know who told. He know in his heart who told. He got the paperwork because when the state dropped the case, the feds picked the case up, and guess who had to go back? Guess who went to the feds to? Because remember, Preem case is based off of a warrant.
Mm.
His case, the 85 case, is not based off an investigation. It's based off of a warrant. That's like you being a cop and me calling you saying, yo, I'm a CI. They about to kill somebody on the corner. Remember back in the days if I called the police and you see you have a gun on you, police would jump out?
Mm-hmm,
It was those type of calls.
Mm.
But what they did was he had to get a warrant it was a telegraphic warrant he had to get because it was over the like yo, boom, boom, boom. They put the CIA. Like the CIA didn't even see the judge. They put the CIA on the phone, and the CIA spoke to the judge, and the judge signed the warrant. That's how they made those raids.
So
You know
Zeke,
what I'm saying?
where you getting your information from?
This is actually online. This is Supreme case. Check it out. Supreme McGriff, 1988 appeal. I posted on my Instagram, but you can check it out yourselves.
What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Zeke Black Feed the Wolves. Ezekiel Matthews. My name is Ezekiel Matthews.
Send it to me. Send it to me. Go ahead.
But you can definitely find it. It's online. That's why I understand. I don't know if they really realize that Dean's appeal is online. It's federal appeal. You know what I'm saying? And it's because when the feds picked up his case, they used the same information from that warrant, what led to him getting locked up because they used the same evidence. And he actually brought the same CI to testify at one of their hearings. And it coincided with because they had to make sure that the warrant was clear. That's why I pretty much up doing like 10, because they basically said the warrant was legit. You know what I'm saying? So he beat the state, it's weird, and then the feds came and got it. So all they did was they let him out, and then we're gonna snatch him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Send me that too, because I would like to look at that, authenticate it. Not saying you lying, but you know, because
that's facts.
Yeah.
Got to. Because
Right.
when I see things, I've read it because I've been locked up before. So I said, wait a minute. Because most people don't go all the way. So you don't go, because New York State, right? They give you a discovery, but that's when you first get caught. But when you begin to go all the way, there's more paperwork because now you're fighting evidence now.
Right.
You go to trial, like the Brady hearings and all those type of hearings.
And when you get your discovery, you figure out, yo, I'm gonna take this to trial, or what they offering me. Give me a good offer. Yeah. Right.
So most people cop out, so they don't go that far. Prince went that far. Now, as fucked up as it sounds, there's probably a situation because he definitely that because for some reason the CI was only Supreme as somebody else it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So everybody else got away from that, but Supreme got this paperwork. He got that paper. He has the summary. He has all this information from the state level to the federal level because he put in the appeal. I'm gonna send it to you. And when you see this, you go, that's why he said 40 years. But one thing I am gonna say, I gotta say this. The paperwork that Zip showed, no matter how crazy, it's all over the place. One thing that was confirmed, the same person that was the CI in 1985 case was the same CI in that park, in the park shooting. So the kid in 85 was a teenager in the Preem case, was the same, wound up turning to become music in the park. It's the same person, the same CI. But they said the music guy was a Spanish guy that was in Virginia, whatever the case may be. But that's a whole other story. But I'm gonna say that part, Zip did discover that. You know what I'm saying? He was able to put those two pieces together, digging. It was the same CI. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you saying the CI is not Bimmy?
Yeah, it's not though.
Okay. Yeah, you know, because
the first CI.
we got, so this first CI is the second CI.
Yeah, it's the second CI. That was in the first paperwork that the guy who told on Preem with his case. The 85 case was the same guy who told in the park. Was the CI in the park.
Oh, got you.
The park shooting. So that's the guy, that's the CI. That's the guy that got the warrant on. I'm going to tell you this paperwork is and this is the crazy part about it. This basically is going to exonerate Bimmy Pie from the second one. You know what I'm saying? Because Son knows who told on him. He knows in his heart. You know what I'm saying? He knows. There was a summary. Nobody brought up the darting situation. For those that want to try, y'all niggas know what that is. Y'all don't play stupid in the chat. Y'all know what it is.
Zeke, did you you broke all this down on your channel?
Yeah, not too much. I just put the paperwork up there and I just read a piece of it.
Okay, so
you know
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that they get your go in the chat and put your Instagram up there so they could go and do that. All right, bro. We holler later on. Send me that on the DM.
Holler later.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I got you.
But put your Instagram inside the chat.
Definitely. Shout out to East Harlem. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace. yo, it's so many conflicting stories. This person saying this person saying this person say I could prove this. This is how we know the streets is going, right? This is how we know the street is crazy. Because the streets is now the internet. That shit ain't even going on outside no more. It's all what's going on the internet. And who could prove what on the internet? So you know the streets is finito. It's all about who could prove what on the internet now. And if who chat room believe who following the people who believe who. That's why I ain't got a nickel and a quarter. I don't think anybody's lying. I don't think nobody's telling the truth. What I'm doing is just letting people talk. I'm just letting people talk, and y'all believe what y'all want to believe, because I'm going to go to sleep good tonight regardless, because I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. But this is Zeke Black 131 on Instagram. Zeke Black 131. Yo, this is out of control. I don't know what to believe no more. You know what I'm saying? But to the little dudes, Superheroes Online, I appreciate your super chat. To the little dudes out there, to the little dudes, to the youth, to the people who are old and you think this shit is cute, it's entertaining to you, and you think that you could entertain it by delving in it, it ain't worth it, man. You got Wi-Fi, you could get $1. You got a vehicle, you could get $1. You could get a bike. Let me say something, because this is important before I go. No job is too small. They got a saying. If you too big to do something small, then you too small to do something big. Everybody started somewhere. Do not be ashamed of your start. Everybody started at 0. Many of us were not born with a silver spoon. Many of us was not born with people giving us an alley-oop. Right now, even in the YouTube space, we in a cutthroat world. Everybody is out for themselves, whether it's Instagram, whatever it is. No matter what you do, stay out of the areas that's going to get you in that system. Stay out of that. What you should do, you got Wi-Fi. Get some bread. If you got to work in Target, do what you got to do. Listen, I'm one of them people, when I come in Target, I need your help. I make everybody feel important. You in Target, you in Walmart, I don't care where you at. Everybody's important. Everybody is needed. Do not be afraid to put on a uniform, a shirt. You cannot be clown, because let me tell you something. That legitimate job gives you security, that nobody's coming to kick in your door at night. You're not in them streets. And when I was outside and I hustled, one of the biggest fears that I had was getting that door kicked in, because you got double jeopardy. You got the Jack boys, and then you got the boys. So being able to be legitimate is the best thing. I don't care. I'm not going to disrespect no Uber driver. I'm not going to disrespect, no matter what you do, you are important. The bus drivers is important. The truck drivers is important. The electricians, everybody is important. And once we get out of that mentality that the working man is a sucker and the person that's doing this and doing that is a sucker, we be all right. Stop job shaming people. Stop saying, oh, you broke. We all $100 from being homeless. You know why we $100 from being from being homeless? Sterling, what's good, bro? Know why we all $100 from being broke? Because if you on a fixed income and you make a certain amount of money, if your rent go up or your mortgage go up, you might have to move. You understand what I'm saying? You might have to move. So stop job shaming people. Stop calling people broke. Oh, you're broke ass. Because if everybody got to it and everybody was getting it how they act like they're getting it, people wouldn't be upset about them food stamps getting cut. So don't act like you up if you getting food stamps, because a lot of people's on government assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you need assistance, get your assistance. If you get SSI, do what you do. But a lot of people like shaming people because they need a little help. If we helped each other more, we wouldn't need help from the fuzz and the government. Because at the same time, you can't pop shit and act like you somebody better than anybody, and the government feed you and the government house you, and you got a duplex apartment and all of that, and you getting food stamps, and you acting like you cute and high and mighty, and your fucking rent's $32, and you calling somebody broke. Y'all gotta stop that. Shout out to Friedman Network. I was in Elmira with Preem when he was released in the appeal in 87. Stop that. Y'all got to stop with calling people broke. Y'all got to stop job shaming. My man Sterling in the chat, Superheroes Only Podcast. Make sure you go to that channel, subscribe to that channel, Superheroes Only Podcast. That guy right there is a barber, and he owns a gym, and he's doing a podcast. So how could you be broke if you busting your ass? Everybody don't just make it like that. We all started at zero. Doggie Diamonds TV started with no subscribers, 0. And we work. So that's really what it's all about. You got to work. You do have some people who got a sense of entitlement and think things should be coming to them, think people should be looking out for them. Those are the people that's the problem. The people who sitting around that's not showing love to people and all they do is down everything, that's the problem. No, you who pick me up an Uber sometimes. I remember I had to take an Uber somewhere. My whip was getting serviced. I had to go all the way downtown. My whip was getting serviced. The Uber driver brought me home and brought me back. Thank you. You are needed. You are special. You are relative to this moment right now in my life. So how dare me, somebody who took me to and fro, bum ass Uber driver. We got to stop that. People on the train, it be people on the train you look at, and you look at their sneakers and be like, bum ass sneakers. That dude is a millionaire. You got people like Harrison Ford and all types of people walking around Manhattan. How much money you think they got? And we keep judging people off their outfit and their appearance. Some people got on new clothes and stink. I'm talking about a wanna be alone cologne, right? Some people got on new outfits and they stink. We keep looking at people's appearance and saying, oh, they got bread because of their chain and they watch. I got on 2 watches, an Apple Watch and a Samsung watch. What does that make me? An idiot with 2 watches, but I like the gym time on my Samsung, but I like both of them are connected to my iPhone. And, you know, I got 2 phones. You know, I just bought the Meta glasses too. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got to start somewhere. That's why I don't job shame nobody. I don't call nobody no bum. I don't like none of that, because how does Bill Gates dress? How did Steve Jobs dress? Look how Jay-Z is dressing right now. I had somebody on Facebook saying Jay-Z is a bum now. How you a billionaire bum? That right there is that their mentality that got us in the situations we be in. Somebody was on Facebook telling me Jay-Z is a bum. He can't dress. I said, if I had $1 billion, how the hell how could you be a bum? That screwed up mentality, but that screwed up mentality also goes into that street mentality. And really it's all shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a study, look it up, that the average wealthy man only has about 3 or 4 suits. So when y'all give me money, whether it's Super Chat, Cash Apps, you see me always come and say, yo, I just bought this with y'all bread. For what? To enhance the content. That's why nobody got this look. That's why this ain't StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? Respect to all the StreamYard people, but that's why I got all the bells and whistles when I put my Meta glasses on. I'm gonna show you. I've showed y'all time, but y'all be missing that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody called Jay-Z a bum. He can't dress. What the hell is knowing how to dress these days? So, shout out to y'all. Friday, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Actually got content that's gonna break the internet. It's gonna break the internet so bad. I'm scared. I've never been scared of content before. I always been like, that. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Stay tuned. Follow me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram, at Doggie Diamonds 2 on Instagram. It's about to get dark. Dark. Yes, just hit me up. Also, when I say dark, I mean this. It didn't work. I tried to show off and it played me right in front of y'all. Hold on, no. Y'all not gonna play me in front of my folks. You're not gonna play me. Technology, right? When I say dark, I mean this. You like that, right? This type of dark. It's about to get dark. So yeah, before I go, because I am gonna go, because I have to go, I'm editing. I have this available for y'all. Get interviewed on Doggie Diamonds TV. Just hit me up on IG at Doggie Diamonds. Make sure you hop on this special offer. It's a 35-minute interview with social media promo. It could be live streamed or taped, and an additional guest could be in your interview. Just hit me up at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Until next time, peace, y'all.